Welcome to Ever After, Once Upon a Time in Wonderland Podcast, Season 1, Episode 12, To Catch a Thief. In this episode, in a flashback, the knave hunts for Alice. Well, in the present, the knave does Jafar's bidding. Meanwhile, the Jabberwocky tries to become free.
What?
This was a very
not creepy.
full episode. No, not creepy, but it did have some moments, though, didn't it, where we kind of jumped.
Yeah, you did. You did
Every
have
time
to.
they pull the knives on each other.
Yeah, you closed your eyes a few times.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't introduced ourselves.
Yeah, what?
I'm
We're just
Molly
moving ahead
South-
without it?
I'm your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And Rob Southgate. Okay.
Now we can.
No.
This was not a creepy episode!
No, not like the last couple.
Yes.
But it did have some things that made you close your eyes. That is faux show.
I was hoping that we were going to get to go to the Well of Wonders, though.
Yeah, I was hoping so too.
They talked about it and said they were, but then they didn't show it.
Well, and they need to release Amara, or at least that's what I thought.
That's
but
She
what they said.
released herself.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder about that.
What? How do you think she got out?
Yeah, because she did get out at the end. If they didn't take her to the Well of Wonders, how did she get out? And if they did, what does that mean? Because with Cyrus getting stabbed with that piece of mirror, and we assume he's, dying or whatever, I wonder if there's something tied to that Well of Wonders that we're going to find out. Because maybe she has the water. Maybe she can save him.
Then why would she have done the spell with him to give Jafar all the power?
Maybe there's a reason that she's doing that. Maybe it's not to give Jafar all the power. Maybe she knows he can't control the power, or she's going to do something to botch the whole thing up. There's got to be something, because otherwise it's like, oh, now Jafar's all powerful and Wonderland collapses and scene. I don't think that's what's going on. Do you think that's what's going on, Mo? No.
All right, favorite moments. Or favorite line.
I liked when the knave said bollocks. So, but he was lost in the
bollocks.
And when Cyrus is walking around, and he was like saying the knave is taking a very weird path. He's going right, left, right, left, left, forward. Backward,
that was funny.
Because the knave got lost.
Yeah, the knave was goofier in this one. Like in the beginning when he first met Alice.
Yeah.
He wasn't the knave at that point. He was goofy. My favorite part was in there.
The knave is goofy.
Yeah, but I thought he was especially
He wasn't
goofy.
as capable as he normally is.
My favorite part with him was when Alice had trapped him and had him hanging there, and he kept swinging his little knife at her. He's like, I'm going to kill you!
Wait, I wrote that down. Okay. And then she says, good, maybe this time you'll learn your lesson. He swings his knife at her again, and she goes, apparently not.
Right.
And then, oh my gosh, he was cracking me up when he'd say,
I have to kill you.
I have to kill you anyway.
And I believe you, but, I have to kill you anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he's like, well,
it wasn't until she said the thing with the heart, when she released him, because she had the heart. And when she said, stop doing it or whatever.
Flap your arms like a chicken.
Yeah, that was all so funny.
My favorite. That was so hysterical.
Yeah, I like that they did all this where
I would love to torture the knave.
Where we had the backstory of Alice and the knave. Because in the first episode, remember, he mentioned that she gave him his heart back. We knew that they had some kind of connection, but it didn't. Something was it wasn't filled in. This really filled it in. I really know what's going on now.
Absolutely.
This really moved the story forward too, because we saw the brothers out of their bottle for the first time since they've been in prison.
Yeah. We
saw Amara she's out of the staff now. What did Jafar say? He said something really funny about that.
All right.
Do you remember what he said? He said, you were safer when you were in the stick.
Yes.
That was great. Then she goes, so were you. And then they started that fight.
Ooh,
that
boy,
was
did
funny.
They have a fight. Well, and he
Cyrus is just in the corner, like, okay, I'm not a part of this. Yeah. I'm just gonna grab my brothers.
Right. Trying to be tricky and get his brothers.
But they were fighting. Amara and Jafar. She knocked the chandelier down and had it turn into snakes.
Yeah.
But he just went poof, and just like.
Yeah. Well, I think it helps to have magic because I'm telling you, I would have been scared of those snakes.
Well, no, but I'm saying he doesn't seem. He seems a lot more powerful than her.
Well, she's been trapped in that staff, and he knows her tricks. That's what he said. He's like, oh, the same old tricks. So that's why he's not so intimidated by it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, she did prove to be pretty powerful. When she broke that mirror, he almost lost. If Cyrus hadn't been there, if he hadn't figured out, wait a minute, I can hurt. If I hurt Cyrus, it hurts her. Mm-hmm. He was starting to lose. Those shards were coming at Jafar.
Yes.
So she was pretty powerful.
Mm-hmm. I loved the scene where Alice. I love the scene where Alice takes on the soldiers when she's with.
Yes.
Because she has released Jafar's father.
She's doing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh no, not that one.
Not that part. We're talking about.
You can tell that one. Let me tell this one.
When it was like when she's like a pirate, she's fighting with the sword.
Well, she freed Jafar's father.
Right.
And
Babu is safe.
They were going. She knew he would help her, so and that he would want to protect his father. So she was thinking that she would have a bargaining chip. So she starts taking him to where Jafar is, and his soldiers come up, and his father says, "Oh no, there's too many of them."
Right.
And he didn't have a weapon. So she's like, "You go stand over there," and she took on all the soldiers by herself.
Yes. That was really great.
And I showed a scene. It was so hysterical. And I think it was right after that. And she had never used a sword in her life. She said, I've never used one of these. She was holding it.
Oh, the flashback?
Yeah,
the flashback when it showed her.
She was not good with a sword.
Yeah,
Look how far she's come.
And that was so funny, too, when she was trying to talk to Will. And the knight has Will pinned with the sword. And he's like, I'm a little busy to be looking at the shrubs right now.
Yeah, she's like, Will, did you see that? Hey, Will, look at that. And he's like, oh, I'm a little busy. The knife was about to cut his head open.
That's so funny.
And that was really cool when the tree,
it engulfed the guy.
Yeah, the vines, how they pulled him in. And Will grabbed the satchel away from the one knight right in the nick of time.
Right before he got sucked into the...
Do you know what was in the satchel? Did you catch what's in there?
Is it his heart?
Nope.
What is it?
The white rabbit. Because she said she wanted to prove to her dad that Wonderland was real. And after Will pulled that satchel and gave it to her, he said, careful, because the rabbit can get out.
Oh,
so the white rabbit was in there that whole time.
Wow, I didn't know it was in there. It didn't.
So that poor white rabbit, because that's how Jafar traveled with him too when he went and showed it.
Stuffed in bags.
Yeah,
the poor guy. How about the scene where Alice and Will are at the bar and they're drinking beer together?
Oh yeah, and he says, I still like to drink a pint, but somehow my heart's just not really into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
He tells Alice about his sister Penelope.
Yeah.
Now, did you catch when he talked about how she died? That she had died, apparently. Yeah. And he said,
did you hear how she died, Molly?
There was something about a patch of ice, and
he said 1 minute you're out on the ice or you're out doing your thing, having a fun time, and then there's a thin patch of ice.
Okay.
And everything changes.
I put that she died falling through ice, and then I thought, well, maybe she didn't fall through it. Maybe she fell on ice.
No, he said thin ice. So she must have fallen through and drowned.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. Well, that was what made Alice decide, I can't do this. You're a person. She likes him.
Gave him his heart back.
Yeah, so she gave him his heart back right there. Now, he didn't put it in, though. And we know that because he doesn't.
In the middle of a bar?
He doesn't put it in until Jafar makes him put it in.
No, Jafar puts it in him.
Okay, Jafar
shoves it into his chest. He didn't have a choice, did he?
Jafar didn't. Oh, here you go. Here you go. I'll tenderly put this in his chest. He just
just shoved it in. Yeah,
punched it in.
Yeah.
Right. Certainly not tenderly. That's
no.
for sure.
So how about the Jabberwocky in this episode? I thought she was cool. I love when they're in the woods and the Jabberwocky shows up, and Alice right away knows it's the Jabberwocky, but everything went silent.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, the Jabberwocky's here. And they're like, are you sure? We knew because everything went silent. All the bugs and animals and everything stopped. Mm-hmm. Ooh, she's scary. And I like that also because this is where we saw it turn, where we see she's turning on Jafar. She actually is the one that leads them to the answer is it with Amara.
Yes.
Amara can do what you need her to do here, whereas the Jabberwocky doesn't have that type of power.
Yeah, we're finding the Jabberwocky doesn't have much power at all.
She has, but her power that she has is really strong. She just doesn't have a lot of powers.
Right.
Her power is that she feeds off of fear.
Right.
And she can manipulate your fear. That's a pretty powerful power to have.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
She's just not a sorceress.
It doesn't help us in this.
It doesn't help us,
and it doesn't.
How does it help us in any way?
Right.
Why would anything in Wonderland help us?
Right.
Because it furthers the story in the way that I want it to go.
Oh.
I want her to defeat Jafar.
Okay, but Mom gets the whole story to herself.
Well, and I like when she was trying to get Jafar to give her the Vorpal blade, and he has none of it. He's like, not until the spell is over.
Yeah.
And she says, I don't think you're going to do it then because
you're scared that it's not going to work.
Yeah, you've got this fear. And she's right.
Yeah. During that scene, though, Jafar was saying to her, I don't need to be able to read your fear because it's written all over your face.
Right.
And so I thought that was really interesting.
He didn't need her special powers to do that.
He said it's written all over your tortured face.
Right.
Yeah, she didn't like that. She wasn't too happy with that.
Yeah.
With
that statement. And when he said this is another bad thing that is going to be horrible for Jafar when something bad's coming Jafar's way, because guess what the Jabberwocky said to him?
What?
He said to the Jabberwocky, he said, sit tight. She said, what am I supposed to do now?
Oh,
he said, sit tight like a good little girl.
I would punch him so hard in the face.
Is that your special power?
You don't talk to women like... I was really mad by that one.
You don't talk to a power...
an angry woman. Don't talk to, especially don't talk to an angry woman like
you.
That. Hey! But,
he said you'd punch him.
Yeah, he said, sit tight like a good little girl. I'll let you know when your services are required.
Yeah.
Like, just sit there until
Nobody
say
puts
I
Walkie
need you.
in the corner. That's what I would have said.
But someone did put, he did put Walkie in a corner.
Who is Walkie?
Jabberwocky.
Oh, yeah. He said Walkie. I didn't know who.
How about when Alice was running, Alice and Cyrus were trying to find the knave to get the staff back.
Yeah.
And he cornered her at the cliff.
Oh, yeah. And he got the jump on her. Now, just before that was when you were saying the thing about how he was running this way and that way and he was being goofy, but he was doing that on purpose to try to trick somebody into going by that cliff. It happened to be Alice, but it could have been Cyrus either way, whoever ran that way. He was setting a trap for him. So he caught Alice.
I don't agree.
No.
What do you mean you don't agree? What if Cyrus had run that way instead of Alice?
Then why did he say Alex?
He had the jump on her.
No, where he was when he was lost.
Yeah.
He couldn't figure out where he was. He wasn't doing that because and then he ran, and that's when.
Oh, I thought he was baiting him to get the jump on her.
I don't think he's that.
And then
that's.
And then she started to fall off, and she actually fell.
And then
I showed a funny scene. But they're sitting there with a
no, what happened? Wait. She fell, and then what?
It went to commercials.
He went after her.
Yeah, he jumped in.
Jumped in.
Oh. Say how?
So so she fell in, and then what did he do?
Jumped in.
Wow.
Would you?
No.
Would you have jumped in after her? He had the staff. He didn't have a reason.
Yeah, but he's a good guy. He likes us. He's not trying to hurt her.
I understand, but it was a long way down, and it was frightening.
Sure.
There were big rocks.
Well, so I know if I fall down, you're
I'm
not jumping
coming in. Are you kidding me?
No, you're taking your staff and going home.
Yeah.
I'm taking my stick and walking around towards the cliff edge to the edge and waiting for you to come floating past.
At least you wait
for you to come floating past.
At least you wait for my corpse to come floating by, Molly. I appreciate that.
That was nice of you.
Unlike Mom.
I'll pull you out.
Mom who throws a rock and then runs away with the staff.
There you go.
Yells, "That's what you get!" Runs away.
Yep.
That is exactly what Mom would do.
So he actually jumps in. So then they're sitting by the campfire.
Wait, then it goes to commercial. And at that point, I'm thinking...
We have to tell what the commercial is.
No, we don't. But I'm thinking...
I'm not talking about that thing.
I'm thinking that at that point, we're going to come back and you're going to see them in the water flailing and there's going to be... But no, they just skipped over that whole thing. Mm-hmm. It cuts to them. It comes back from commercial and they're just sitting there soaking wet.
Right.
And like they're resolving everything.
Now they're sitting around a campfire.
Well, I just wanted to say that the way they set it up, they had that cliffhanger at the commercial and then no payoff.
Well, payoff was they were both alive, sitting there with the staff.
No, payoff would have been he threw rocks at her and said, "That's what you get."
Right.
That's payoff.
That's what Mom would have done.
Yes.
Probably.
Good job, Mom.
Good job, Mom.
Hopefully we'll never find out.
Yeah, you know what? You know who really hopes? Me, because I'm the one floating.
And I'm the one watching for you.
Right.
I'm helping you.
Now, would you use the staff to pull me out, or would you use would you have one of your butterfly nets and try to catch me with that?
What do you mean?
How would you get them out?
I have hands for that. I have hands for that.
Oh.
Oh, no, I can't pull you out.
What?
Why not?
You're too heavy.
Why I oughta.
You're twice as tall as me.
I would probably panic and hit you with a staff and knock you unconscious, and then you'd fall back in the water.
And say that's what you get.
And say that's what you get. And say, oh no. Oh, now I don't know what to do. Call 911. There's no 911 in Wonderland.
No, you'd call your mom and say, "What's the number to 911?" And she'd say, 911.
I'm not good in an emergency.
No.
That's like when Dad's finger got cut off. You called your mother instead of everybody was saying, call 911, call 911.
And you called your mom.
And she said, call 911. Why are you calling me?
Yeah.
Because she was a nurse.
That's right.
I figured I don't know, I was panicking. So.
That's okay, you can keep the tip. Wah, wah.
Okay, so one of my other favorite scenes is when Alice goes to the tomb where the hearts are kept.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Molly, you want to talk about what happens with those soldiers?
She was saying 1, 2, 3, 4 really quietly, and then they moved. 1, 2, 3, 4. They moved again.
And then she knew exactly where to go.
Right, that's how she was timing everything.
To get over to the door.
And then there was a part where she was just counting and counting.
When she was with the red knave?
Yeah, and then she kept counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
And he says, Are you counting? And she goes, "Yes, I'm trying to. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he goes, "Are you counting now?" And she goes, "Yes! 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm trying to."
That was so funny.
All right, how about some favorite lines?
We've been doing favorite lines, haven't we?
Not really. I've got some.
Okay, what are yours?
When the Jabberwocky
said, I already told you mine.
"Nobody's born a monster. We're made."
Oh, yeah, that was a good line.
That's a really good line.
Yeah, you know what? I think Molly needs a t-shirt that says that. Because she's been made into a monster.
Or
Putty's been made into a monster.
I'm not a monster. I'm just drawn that way.
What? What does drawn mean? I'm just drawn that I'm not...
Like a cartoon.
Like you're animated.
Like a drawing.
We're not going to put this in.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
okay, I've got another one.
A what?
I like...
A scene or a line?
A line.
Oh, okay.
When Will and Alice were kind of at odds.
Like we are right now?
And Will says to Alice, because Alice was not seeing his side, and he says to her, "You think your love story is the only one worth fighting for."
I
thought that was a great line.
And it's so true.
And then she echoes it later when they're sitting by the fire after she's fallen in the water and everything, and he saved her, and she says, "You need to fight for your love story. You're right.
Yeah. Your
love story is important." I thought that was really good writing.
And I understand why she was having to say no, because for them it was, for for Will, it was just Will and Anastasia. Nobody else benefits from Anastasia surviving.
Right.
But for Alice and Cyrus, them accomplishing their goal will save all of Wonderland.
Right.
Because it will stop Jafar.
Right.
And it will save his brothers and his mom and everyone in Wonderland, because Jafar will no longer be torturing them.
Right.
And
although, I wonder, because the thing I'm wondering about with this is how, because he goes back in time, or it goes back in time in order to rectify everything.
Okay.
What point do they go back to?
It's, I think that's the question. I thought that they said it would go back to the point, no, I think they were just speculating.
Because if it goes back all the way to where, before Cyrus is made into a genie, well, then he's never a genie, he never meets Alice, and that whole thing falls apart.
Right.
So they can't go that far back. Do they go back just far enough?
I don't think they have a choice. Jafar is the one who dictates how far back.
Okay.
Because it has to do with Jafar's story,
So would Jafar go all the way back to when he was first killed by his dad?
I would think so.
When Babu tried to kill him?
Like that.
Babu, you are a very bad man, Babu.
What? He gets better.
He gets better, yes. In fact, he says, I've learned my lesson.
That's my other line.
Oh, sorry.
You have it?
No.
No, you don't know the quote? He actually, it's during the scene where Jafar is saying to him, they're talking about Will, and he says, his dad says to him, have some mercy on them. And Jafar says, you're talking to me about mercy?
Right.
And I suppose you're an expert on that.
Yeah, he did.
Right.
And then his dad said, I have learned the error of my ways. I'm waiting for you to learn anything at all.
Wow.
Because Jafar is a big bad man.
Jafar,
which is funny because when Babu was on Seinfeld, when he was actually the character of Babu, that was the funny line he said. You are a very bad man, Jerry. A very bad man.
That's what I wanted to say in this whole thing.
And now he's saying it to Jafar.
Very bad man, Jafar.
You are a very bad man, Jafar. A very bad man.
So,
so funny.
This was a good line. I have a couple other good lines. When Will is in their tent with them, in their little...
Do you mean in the beginning when he first shows up in the tent?
What's that thing called? Their little campy thing.
Yeah, it's that hidden.
They were glamping.
They were glamping.
But
ooh, that would be a nice glamp too, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because you'd have all those pillows.
Totally
the only thing missing
is
the bathroom. There's no bathroom.
Well, there's a problem. Yep. They can go in one of their bottles, one of the genie bottles.
Oh, I would.
But he says,
don't drink from
we can bring Anastasia back to life. There's only one catch. We have to let Jafar win.
Yes.
And that was really, I thought that was a really good line.
Let the Wookiee win. That's what he says.
Yeah.
No.
I think that.
What Wookiee?
The Wookiee?
Wookiee.
Don't let the Wookiee win.
Don't let the Jabberwocky win.
Okay. Don't let the Jabberwocky win. Wocky.
So.
Well, was there anything else you guys wanted to point out? Because this was a really good episode. It really moved things forward. Now, we know at this point that this series has been canceled.
There's one more episode.
There's only one more episode.
How can they do all these deadlines? I think they're going to have to bring back Anastasia, take away his powers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Make the mother reunited with the sons. Bring back the things from the well.
Well, the crazy thing, Mal, is they may not resolve all that stuff. Because if they just announced that this was canceled, if they weren't prepared for that, this next episode might leave a bunch of cliffhangers that really never get resolved.
That would have been out next.
Or they get resolved later on Once Upon a Time. Because the other thing we know is Will Scarlet is going to be on Once Upon a Time next season. So he's going to be a regular cast member on there. So that tells us that even if they don't resolve it in this,
he lives there.
We will see what happens in Storybrooke with Will.
Yes.
And I'm sure that will resolve a lot of this stuff. But I'm so bummed that they canceled it because I think Jafar is an awesome character. I think Jabberwocky's awesome. I think the Red Queen, I think they've done a great job with these guys. So, but that's neither here nor there. Does anyone else have anything for this episode, or are we ready to wrap it up?
I don't think so.
Well, all we have to say is at the end, they completed the spell.
That's right.
And Jafar... Oh, Cyrus got stabbed with the shards of the mirror.
Shards of the mirror.
And,
and then Jafar's eyes.
His eyes went white. Oh, that was weird. Kind of like the staffs did.
Yes, but those were yellow or red. But his went white.
So
that's because he's all full of magic.
Full of White Castle?
Full of White Castle?
It is White Castle.
Where'd you get that from? Product placement, Jafar's eyes turn white. I need White Castle. I've got a crave. All right, I am wrapping it up. So, thank you for listening, everybody. This was the next to last episode, the penultimate episode of Ever After in Wonderland. You can hear our past shows, and you can check out all our other podcasts at our website, which is
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
Yes, you can find our shows on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, on Podomatic. Wow.
Everything says pod on it. On Podbean, Podomatic.
You can find it on BlackBerry and TuneIn and all these different platforms. So however you like to listen to your podcasts, you should be able to find them, or go to our website. You can follow me on Twitter at rsouthgate. You can follow Martha, who does the company one, at SMG Pods. And you can find us on
pods.
You can find us on Facebook. Wow. Instagram. Boy, there's just all sorts of things you can follow us on. So look for Southgate Media Group, or we also go by SMG on a lot of this stuff. So you can find us everywhere. That's it. For Ever After in Wonderland, I'm Rob Southgate.
I'm Molly Southgate.
I'm Martha Southgate.
Now let's end this the way every great fairy tale ends.
Happily ever after.
The end. If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.
Wrong intro.